Our next presentation is from Mirus Aircraft Seating. It's an independent applied technology business based in Norfolk, so right in the area. Founded in 2015 by Philip Hall and Ben Maguire. It brings together technologies and expertise and best practices from, and I like this, Formula One, automotive and aerospace sectors. So taking technologies from one sector and introducing to another one. They're committed to delivering innovative, high-performance products and redefining value in aircraft seating. The business has gone from strength to strength. So I'm now to introduce Lyndsey Whiteman, who's the CFO of Mirus Aircraft Seating, and she'll discuss their growth and the challenges and the benefits and the lessons they've learned. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Lyndsay. I'm responsible for all things finance at Mirus. It's a pleasure to be here today to share our growth story. Okay, so who are we? So as Ed said, we bring together technologies from Formula One, automotive and aerospace into aircraft seating. At the moment, we're purely focusing on aircraft seating, but we'd like to move into other products and industries, for example, rail, e-gaming seats, things like that. So I thought the best way to share our growth story was to run you through the timeline of Mirus and how we've grown. So, founded in February 2015. A few months later, in May 2015, we moved into the Hingham factory. So we're actually based about 4 miles down the road from here, so really close. November 2015, we secured a grant from the new Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership and Growing Business Fund. This funding was to help Mirus convert the factory into an aerospace-accredited, modern and efficient production facility, both to satisfy our initial order and to satisfy our growth ambitions. This funding was absolutely critical for Mirus at that stage of the business, and it was also really good in terms of giving some credibility, having the support from the government. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the LEP for that support, especially in the early stages of the business. So throughout 2016 and 2017, we signed a launch contract with our first customer, AirAsia. So during this period, we developed the seat in collaboration with the airline, worked closely with the customer and took on board their feedback. This was for a retrofit program, which is to fit seats on existing aircraft, ahead of a line fit program coming this year, which is for new aircraft. This process is extremely resource intensive, as the aerospace industry can be extremely risk-averse and quite a difficult industry to be in. This also means, however, that barriers to entry are high. You need to invest heavily to gain the industry credibility and to satisfy the aerospace regulations. In this respect, in terms of our capital infrastructure, we also invested heavily upfront in our formative years to achieve sustainable, scalable operation. We'd been warned heavily by the industry and by Airbus as well, that we would need to have industrial reliability and be ready to scale as soon as we got into their supplier catalogue. So during this period, we then started to look for additional financing to take Mirus into production. We were looking for debt finance, and so approached a number of banks in the UK for finance facility. This was pre-revenue for Mirus, so we didn't have a trading history. Proved really difficult. I don't think the UK banks had the risk appetite for a business like Mirus. And it was actually a very challenging time in terms of our cash flow. Therefore, we started to look for options for finance further afield. This took about 9 months, but in June 2017, we secured a finance facility with a bank in Malaysia. This facility provided the cash required to take Mirus through the remainder of our certification program and then into production. So, February 2018 was a really big milestone for Mirus because this saw our first ship set of seats flying. So now they've been in service for over a year. We delivered 4 ship sets of seats last year, and we've got 8 going out this year. So, October 2018, we then secured a second LEP grant. This was to support Mirus with further growth and also to enable manufacture of composite components within the Hingham factory. This grant we turned around in the period of about 4 or 5 days, Morgan was extremely supportive. It was, a very fast application, but all went through fine. And then where we are now, so 2019 sees our first line fit deliveries straight to Airbus. So we're working hard getting that ready at the moment. So I also wanted to give a quick overview of our product strategy. So the first seats flying are the Mirus Hawk. So you can see from this visual, this should cover most of the market from low-cost carriers to full-service carriers. We've also been developing the Kestrel seat alongside a low-cost carrier. This will be launched at the Aircraft Interiors Expo in Hamburg next week. This also shows how Mirus plans to grow further and what is hopefully in our pipeline in terms of premium, business and first-class seating. So another way in which Mirus has really grown is in terms of our headcount. So we've seen significant growth in number of employees at Mirus since 2015, and we're now up to a headcount of 70. We've been working closely with local education bodies to grow skills in the local area. For example, collaboration with the Aviation Skills Partnership up at KLM near the airport. We've been focusing on training, creating jobs, and we'd like to inspire the next generation of engineers and technicians in the area. As well as growing our headcount, Mirus is also putting initiatives in place to help other businesses grow. So, for example, at the show in Hamburg next week, we're sharing our stand with a company that don't have the capital to invest in a stand themselves. Our current facility, as I said, is based just down the road in Hingham. This is home to all primary Mirus functions. We have an automated pivotware assembly system, which allows fully traceable automated assembly system, which is critical for us meeting our aerospace requirements. Current capacity at the factory is 40,000 seats per annum, but this can be increased as required. In terms of our orders to date, we've had orders of 120,000 seats, which will be delivered over the next 10 years. So what is next for Mirus in terms of our growth? This is just some pictures of what we hope to do with our facility in the future, the technology park. We aspire to be the go-to seat vendor within the aircraft interiors industry, and as I mentioned earlier, also have ambitions to look at other products and industries. We've been looking at our vertical integration opportunities, which ties back into our second LEP grant that we received, and enhancement of our capabilities at the Hingham facility to maximise productivity, eliminate our bottlenecks, and add value. So, for example, carbon composites and 3D printing. Thank you for listening. I'll be around all day, and it'd be great to meet some more of you if you have any questions. Thank you.